Good morning. I'm just at the entrance of the Matang Temple and I'm going to begin my trek now. As you can see, there is a disclaimer here which advises people that, or devotees, that they are coming up this at their own risk, coming up this path. So I've just driven from the city of Kuching, which is approximately 21 kilometers from this area, and we enter into this national park, and I'm commencing my journey up this hill. It's a 3-kilometer trek uphill. The weather is pleasant. It's raining, but the view is fantastic. So to arrive here from Kuching, you must ensure that you park your vehicle at the parking station downstairs. There's a fee of 5 ringgit for parking your vehicle, and then you commence your trek up to the temple. So along the way you will come across a small temple, and then you commence your trek up this path. Now vehicles are not permitted along this route, obviously, because it's very narrow, but you can walk all the way up, and it's shady. Even if there's a sun up there, you'll be cool. So let's see where this trek takes us to. 3 kilometers up this hill. I'll see you at the top. Now I've just stopped by on this route, and you can see this tree. This is a tree which has been felled in the storm. So see the tree. It's maybe some kind of Borneo ironwood based on the texture. The route is getting steeper now, but it's a gentle climb. If you're relatively fit, you can walk up this with ease. Okay, that's a landslide over here. Down there's a landslide, so obviously you can't get a vehicle up here. And if there is a landslide, you probably have to creep alongside the mountain and make it to the top. But this temple has a very interesting history. According to what I've read online, this temple was actually built by the early Ceylonese and Indian settlers who were brought in by the Raja of Sarawak. Okay, there's Om Shakti, 2,500 meters more to go. So I've just covered 500 meters. Jai Bholenath, Om Namah Shivaya. That's what we say in India when we are going to visit the temple. Okay, so we're coming back to the history of this temple and the history of Sarawak. So this is a very interesting case in which a Britisher, that's the Brooke family, ruled Sarawak for approximately 5 generations. Now the family, or the founding member of the family, was an adventurer. He arrived here, and at that point Sarawak was controlled by the Sultan of Brunei. However, there were always raids by pirates from across the South China Sea. So James Brooke was able to quell the pirates. He quelled the pirates because he had a ship with which he traveled up, a schooner. So I put a picture of the schooner in the links, and that schooner was equipped with 6 cannons, what are known as 6-pounder cannons. Now with that schooner, he was able to quell the rebellion and eventually was ceded the lands of Sarawak. So that's very interesting. Now we are coming up to a very beautiful waterfall. Almost at fountain, it's a waterfall. There's a waterfall up there. Beautiful views. A very beautiful day. Okay. So Matang is actually a district which supplies the water to Sarawak. It's a water catchment area. There's a lot of information on that, but I want to keep the video short, so I won't go into that. I make a longer video later on. Now, as you walk along, there are very interesting species. Oh, and there's some trash there. Let's pick it up. I can't get below the rock. Oh, this is actually not trash. It's actually offerings. Offerings made to the deities in the forest. Now, as we go up, I'll explain to you this concept of deities and animism, because we have a long trek to go, and I think my DJI Osmo Action 3 battery can handle it. So there is a history with regard to animism and the cultures of Borneo. In most tribal societies, animism plays a very significant role as part of the cosmology, or the reason, what we call the reason for existence. So in Borneo, there is a strong shamanistic tradition which extends to reading omens and appeasing the forest spirits. So in the cosmology of the tribes of Borneo, we actually, as humans, exist in the middle dimension, and this middle dimension is an area which we are confined to. So when we cross over from that middle dimension to other dimensions, we actually disturb certain spirits. So when we walk through the forest, we must be very respectful of the local spirits. These are the water spirits, the wind spirits, and they all communicate through a priestess or a priest in the culture of Borneo. Okay, so in the traditions of the Bornean island, this priestess is sometimes called Bobohizan or Bobolian, and there are specific rules called adat which one needs to comply with. Okay, another beautiful waterfall, beautiful views. The climb is really beautiful and really worth it. Okay, so coming back to the tribal system of cosmology and adat. Adat refers to the laws of the tribal populations here. And if you break an adat, or break a law, one can offer what is known as a sogit, or a fine. Now, very interestingly, these native laws have become part of the laws of Sabah and Sarawak. So if you are a native, you can actually pay recompense based on the native laws. For example, insulting a person has a certain sogit, or a fine, which is paid in the form of maybe a monetary compensation, or in extreme cases, a buffalo slaughtered, or a chicken, as the case may be. Okay, another landslide. You have to be careful here, but it's okay. It's a trek. We are safer walking here than flying in an aeroplane, I guess. Okay, so we go up. Now, within Sarawak, we have many tribes. As far as I know, as far as I've read, we have the Melanau, the Bidayu, and the tribes who exist in the upper regions of the highlands. So we have the Kelabit Highlands as well in Sarawak, which is famed for its pristine beauty and its rice growing culture. Okay, these Kelabit Highlands have to be accessed by a small twin engine plane or a monoplane. Okay, so we go up. Okay, I'm going to stop filming now for a while to save my battery for the temple ahead. So I'll see you at the top. This is why walking through the rainforest is so relaxing. So I am now at the Matang forest. Watch the ferns. You can hear the sounds of water, the sounds of running water, the sounds of birds and insects. I think there are more than 6 types of ferns in this area. This is a 3-kilometer hike up to the temple. It's relatively easy to take the trail, and I'm on my way down. Hi, I'm now hiking at the Matang forest, and I will show you some of the views of Mount Sarapi. So the rains have just cleared off, and there in the distance is Mount Sarapi. So Matang Reserve is actually the watershed for the Kuching area. So the fresh water from here ends up in your tap in Kuching. I'll show you the waterfalls next. So we are now coming down the 3-kilometer trail from the temple, and this has been an amazing trek up the mountain with amazing views, the sounds of the rainforest behind me, the amazing Dipterocarp trees. So if you're in Kuching and you want to enjoy a leisurely trek with your family, I would recommend this trek up into the temple. Okay. Look at the amazing signages which have been provided by the Sarawak government, which highlights the species in this area. Now it's just a short distance to the parking lot, and on the way we come across this relatively modern temple which has been constructed at the entrance of the trail. Okay. Far across in the distance you can see or view the lush rainforest. It's amazing. The sight is amazing. The camera does not capture what the eye can see. This is one trail which is worth walking. Okay, and there in the distance you can see Mount Santubong just beyond the mist. That's another peninsula in Sarawak. So that was one of the early ports during the colonial times. It was a trading port, Mount Santubong. I will try and take you there later, or maybe tomorrow, as we continue this journey through Sarawak. Thank you for watching. Stop recording.